Oh, sorry. Are you able to hear my voice? Are you able to hear my voice? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, fine. Then we'll go ahead. So the topic which we are going to discuss today is call and mall for the effective communication. That topic we are going to discuss today. And the link of your attendance will be shared once we complete 5 minutes before our discussion ends. Okay, so then I will share the link in our chat box. Okay, and there you can register your attendance, means a Google link sort of. So without that, this lecture is of only half an hour. We have already wasted 10 minutes for students to join in. Okay, so let me share my screen. So that you'll be able to see. I hope you are able to see the screen I have shared. Okay, so are you able to see the screen which I have shared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So the topic which we are going to discuss is very simple: call and mall for effective communication. Now, communication, as we all know, that we every day communicate. We communicate to share our message, to understand the message, the whole process of sharing the information and sending the information and the receiving the information and understanding and then react. This is all the process of communication. So communication. So what here we communicate, you will be able to see here in the color form where that we communicate in the languages. Mother tongue is our first language. Mother tongue is our first language. Means mother tongue could be your Marathi, Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, French, German, Spanish. It could be of any language or dialects of language. Okay. If you go to means even in Maharashtra, there are various dialects of Marathi. The Marathi spoken in the Vidarbha has a different dialect. Marathi spoken in Mumbai has a different dialect. Nashik's dialect of Marathi is also different. Then your Marathi spoken in the Khandesh region, that is also of a different dialect. So that dialect could be your first language. The language we learn when we are as a child without any formal education. The language we learn. So the language spoken by our mother, or in a very broad way, the language spoken in our family, that becomes our first language. If you born into a Sindhi family, then your first language would be Sindhi. If you are born into a Punjabi family or still you are living in Maharashtra, then your first language would be a Punjabi language. Simple. If your parents, they are living in Spain, then your mother tongue would be Marathi rather than English or Spanish. So first language would be Marathi.
Excuse
Okay.
me, sir.
Ha. Yes.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm not able to see the screen.
This is her problem, or all of you are not able to see the screen? Because I'm here sharing the screen. Hmm?
Sir, I'm
Sir, I
able
can
to
see the screen.
How many students are unable to see the screen? Means, or is it just that that student's problem named Rutuja? Is it Rutuja? Are you now able to see the screen?
No, sir.
Let me again stop sharing and I will reshare the screen. Okay. Let me first take the screenshot. Now let me share the screen. Are you able to see the screen now, Rutuja?
No, sir. Not yet.
Not yet. How is that possible? I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So now I have stopped the screen. Okay. Now, are you able to see the my sharing?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Okay, fine. So as we were discussing about that first language can be any language. So the question arises here that mall and call mostly used in second language acquisition when we try to learn second language. Here, as we are living in Maharashtra, so we are, means I'm just assuming that Marathi would be your first language. So the second language your would be Hindi or English. Okay, your second language acquisition process would be English or Hindi. And when, if you get a job in, let us say, France, Germany, or Chennai, then you will have to acquire third language for communication. That is become when we need a language for communication, then that becomes our third language. Means it could be just for the communicative purposes. Means I'm working in Maharashtra, but if I get a job in Spain, then there I will have to learn another language, that is Spanish language. So that would be my third language, Spanish. Okay. So most of the time, this arises that mall and call is used for the second language acquisition. And what in the modern world today, we all use so many technologies to stay connected with our friends. So here, communication in the modern world has become very, very important. So for what is needed for effective communication? The first and the foremost thing needed for the effective communication, that is vocabulary. Without vocabulary, without words, you will not able to communicate, or you will not able to transfer your message properly. Therefore, a very famous linguistic Harmer, where I have quoted this in the blue and white highlight, that without grammar, very little can be conveyed. Even though if you don't know how to construct the sentence, that is what we require grammar for. But without vocabulary, nothing at all can be conveyed. So vocabulary is very important for communication and for the second language acquisition, or to learn the second language, that is L2. So vocabulary is the building block of the language. The language means you build your language on the vocabulary. Vocabulary is your foundation. And it is important in foreign language acquisition. Let us say in English or Spain or German, that we require the vocabulary. See, as in a multicultural society, we learn Hindi by default. Means we watch Hindi movies, we listen Hindi songs, we watch Hindi serial. So we learn Hindi language by default. Okay, we require this technology to understand the English language, to learn the English language, because English is still a foreign language for us. So for acquisition of the language, let us say our second language is English language, then we require a strong vocabulary. We should have command over the words. Okay, that is the thing. Technology nowadays, technology means mobile, computer, iPods and other things. They have totally changed our language learning system. But even in the teaching nowadays, we are using so many things like this computer. Now computer, we are using computer for our online lecture, and that is also for the learning tool. That thing we are using. Okay. Now, what do we understand by the call? Call stands for C, computer, A, assisted, L, language, E, learning. L, learning. That is call. Call stands for computer assisted language learning. Computer assisted language learning. So call, it was originated as a project in the foreign universities around 1960s and 70s. And they started it as a project to understand how people learn the language. So since the arrival of the computer, there has been a relationship between technology and the pedagogy. Pedagogy means a sort of teaching. So early call programs were focused to understand how the language can be understood. There was instruction. Therefore, the early program was called as computer assisted language instruction, that is Kali. Computer assisted language instruction, Kali. Later on, it became the call. So what is call? What do you understand by the call? Call means learners learning language in any way with, through and around computer technology. Whatever you learn, the language of any kind, by using the computer, it is called call, means computer assisted language learning. This was the first one because computer came first before the mobile. So call is any process in which a learner uses computer and as a result improves his or her language. What is called that any learner uses computer to improve his language, to understand the language by watching YouTube videos, by reading the blogs. Now mobile has become a sort of semi-computer, so there is not that much of distinction between computer and mobile. But when you use computer to understand the various aspects of language, how to pronounce a word, when you watch English movies, by videos, by reading blogs, by watching YouTube videos, then that becomes your call. Means computer assisted language learning. And there are other softwares as well that will help you to understand or to learn the second language or acquire the second language. Okay. Now, what is MAL? Now, as we have seen that call means computer assisted language learning. In the same way, MAL is mobile assisted language learning. MAL is mobile assisted language learning or mobile learning. So what is mobile learning? Mobile learning, what? Mobile learning is defined as a learning process where interactions among learners with the content happen via personal electronic devices, which includes handheld computer, MP3 players, notebook, mobile phones, tablet, and so on. So mobile learning is the acquisition of any knowledge or skill through using mobile technology anywhere and anytime. So now that most of you students must be attending this lecture on mobile, so that becomes your mobile learning. You acquire any skill, you learn any new skill or acquire the knowledge through using the mobile, that becomes your mobile learning. And MAL is mobile assisted language learning. So what happens in MAL? In MAL, that learning happens through any mobile handheld device such as mobile phones, smartphones, iPads, your tablets, phablets, and so on. So mobile assisted language learning is a branch of learning where we use technology and which can be applied to the several forms, whether it's face-to-face, distant, or online modes, as we are using online modes. So this learning takes place at any time and any place. So what is this? Before moving further, that computer where we are supposed to sit in a room, we cannot carry computer along with us. So mobile means movement. Mobile learning means we are learning either using the smartphone, phone, tablet, iPod, anything. And we can learn at any place, any time, and anywhere. That is called mobile learning. So MAL happens when we use mobile to acquire the language, to search the new words, to understand how the word is pronounced, the different meanings of the words, how that word should we should use in the sentence. That is the MAL. When we take the help of computer for acquire second language, then it becomes computer assisted language learning. When we take the help of mobile to acquire second language, then it becomes mobile assisted language learning. That is call and MAL. C for call and M for mobile. I mean, C for computer and M for mobile. So MAL now has replaced the call, because computer is very costly as compared to mobile. So one can buy mobile by spending 7 or 8,000 rupees, but you cannot buy a computer by spending 7 or 8,000 rupees. So mobile MAL has emerged as a new way of learning and expanding educational boundaries. Now you can attend online lectures. Now you can have online degrees. Means in future there is going to be a online university where students they can have online degrees. Now there are courses run by the Oxford or Chicago universities where anyone can participate. That is the mall. That this has become the new technology and the devices we use. So what mall has is becoming increasingly popular due to the following reasons. What are the following reasons? That it is short messages and photography, audio, video, photography for playback, music, ringtones, everything, individual and interactive games. It is very to handle. It is easy to handle a mobile than the computer. For computer, you require a specific training. For mobile, you require a very basic training and it is affordable. You can carry mobile anywhere. Means now you can learn the language anytime, any place and anywhere using your mobile phone. That is for mall is replacing the call, means computer assisted language learning. So what here, as the restrictions is quite obvious that call requires a computer and the internet connection, and we feel artificiality sometimes with using the computer. Mobile, we can learn, carry the mobile everywhere or anywhere. So what is the future of this type of technology, or why there is a need of technology in the learning? So what the teaching learning, unlike conventional, like using blackboard or classroom, what the new technology has eliminated the major time and location constraint. Now you are sitting at your home, I am sitting at my home, and we are still learning. So this, by the use of technology, we have eradicated, which pre-pandemic era, this lecture would not have been possible, because we will have to conduct this lecture in the classroom. Now using the technology, using the online mode, we are conducting this lecture. You are sitting at your home, I am sitting at my home, and still we are discussing the mall and the call. And it helps, technology helps or makes easy the learning process. So what is the scenario of the technology assisted language learning in India? That is small and the call. So what India is the second highest, India has the second highest number of smartphone users in the world. The first one being the China, of course, because of the population. So according to a report published in the Indian Express in July 2020, the number of smartphone, consequently those with the access to internet phones users in India, is likely to rise to 83 crores in 2022. So in 2015, the only 9% of the people had smartphone. Now in 2018, 25% of the people had smartphone in rural India. Now it is possible that in the next coming years that every person he will have the smartphone, and this must have happened because of the pandemic. So technology has always helped us to understand the language. It has always helped in the education. So okay, we still have 7 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, and no doubt, I'll share this PPT on our SEC group. So there is only this MAL and call means computer assisted language learning, which is mostly used for the language acquisition, and MAL means mobile assisted language learning. Okay, and I think that many of the students must not have been or might not have been able to see my shared screen, so I will definitely share this PPT. It's very simple at this level. You are just supposed to know what is small stands for, what is uh, call stands for, and why we need the technology in our classes. Okay, so if you have any questions, then you are free to ask. We have hardly 5 or 6 minutes left. Okay, so let me share the link for your attendance. Just a minute. So I have shared the link in your this chat box. Please see and register your attendance. Okay. And I am definitely going to share this PPT in our classroom. Oh, sorry, in our that WhatsApp group. Okay. If you do not have any questions, then you can leave the session and don't forget to fill the your registration link, which is also your attendance link. Okay, for this lecture. Thank you for joining. And tomorrow we have our compulsory English lecture.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to click on your that attendance come registration link. Don't miss that out. It is still in the chat box. Click on it and fill that Google form.